welcome to BlackBelt Selling with Stephanie and Anna Scheller. I'm Anna.
And I'm Stephanie.
We are a mother-daughter team who have a mission to help you smash through those obstacles that are keeping you from making more sales. On BlackBelt Selling, we share content, which is what you're going to get today. It's going to be just an exclusive Stephanie and Anna show today. And we also bring in fantastic guests. We've brought people on like Tom Hopkins. We've brought Jeb Blunt, Mark Hunter. So if
Mike McAllowitz.
Mike McAllowitz, I know. That's like our big, that's one of our
Mike the freaking Callowitz, guys.
And he's going to be in San Antonio in less than a month. So you need to be checking that out too. But anyway, we bring great guests who also complement what we're trying to do, which is to help you develop tools and techniques in order to win at the game of sales. Now, you can learn more about us by going to our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/BlackBelt Selling. That's facebook.com/groups/BlackBelt Selling. And today, Stephanie, I wanted to cover a topic that we covered in the USA Biz Party. So for those of you who may or may not be aware, I host a Twitter chat every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called USA Biz Party. And this week, we drew all kinds of interesting people to the chat because we were talking about video production and the importance of video marketing. And so today's episode is really, we were trying to come up with some really cool titles. So we thought video marketing. That's not very sexy.
Right. It's got to be sexy to get people to show up.
That's
not that kind of sexy.
Not that kind of sexy.
I'm still not to do that on camera. So you can tell how well I listen to directions.
And I'm wearing a hat today because it has been blowing 50 miles an hour around here. So we do not want to see what I look like without my hat today. But we decided to call this episode Shifting Marketing Trends That Will Make or Break Your Business. And it all is focused around video. Now, Stephanie, why do you think that video is a shifting marketing trend?
Well, so it's one of those things that has been around forever and ever and ever. It's always been one of the great, when they created video advertising, literally, like in order to run a successful business, you needed a product, you needed a business, like a way to deliver, and you needed an ad. Like for a long time, that was a super successful marketing trend or business model. And so marketing has been video has been hyper effective for marketing for a long time. But I think one of the reasons that it is, it's continuing to shift. That's marketing in general. So just get over that. If you think marketing is static, like wake up. But I think one of the reasons that it is such a powerful medium is that we are still very visual creatures, and it allows us to really connect. I was actually talking with someone the other day who we were commenting that the fans that we pick up through video are hyper dedicated, like super, like they love the fans you get through video are much more committed fans than someone you're going to get just through posting on social media, because they get to know you personally. And I think that's why we're all looking for that personal connection. So that's why video is so important. And the shift, shift is going to keep happening. It's going to shift for now and get to where people are happy with it. And then it's going to shift again in another year or so. So
it really is. I think when it comes to video, people have to realize that there are three things that we want to talk about today. And then we can actually do this again with BlackBelt Selling after the first of the year, because as we're getting ready to film this for you today, it is the 14th or the 13th of December. It's the end of the year. So we're trying to look ahead at trends to keep you ahead of the game. And so we're going to talk about the importance of video marketing, and Stephanie's touched on that some already. We'll go deeper. We're also going to talk about the benefits of video marketing, and finally some strategies that you have to have in place in order to be effective in video marketing. So first of all, the importance of video marketing, and you really hit the nail on the head there, Stephanie, when you were talking about that it's been with us a long time. Prior to this, it was really expensive. You had to have the right cameras. You had to have somebody standing behind there. It's become a much more affordable and much more easy to distribute medium through things like YouTube. You know, there's live streaming that you can do on social media. But let's talk about people who have not followed trends and where those businesses are today. And we were talking about some of those before we started filming. So can you think of one business that is no longer in business because they didn't stay with the trends?
Oh, my favorite. I've been talking about this one all year, Sears. I actually was talking about them declaring bankruptcy. I thought they declared bankruptcy long before they actually did, apparently. But I still think, I mean, it's hilarious. So, okay, it's kind of hilarious.
Well,
I don't know. Y'all heard
it's sad. Okay, it's sad.
No, the story that I'm going to tell.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right. So I was sitting here, I was talking to my husband, and some of you guys know there's a little bit of an age gap between my husband and I. And
there's a big age gap.
He's closer to mom's age.
Younger brother, okay? Anyway,
what? Go on. Yeah. So he and I are chatting, and I commented that, you know, how sad it must be for people who, you know, they grew up looking at the Sears Roebuck catalog, and that was like a big deal back in the day. And could you imagine how hard it is for these people to have lived to see, you know, going from completely dominant to going out of business? And he looked at me and he goes, seriously? I mean, seriously, Steph? The Sears catalog was a big deal when I was a kid. And I was like, I was talking about, then I made it worse, because then I said I was talking about old people.
Thank you.
Yeah. No.
I remember as a kid, my mother used to make all our clothes because we were poor. We didn't have a lot of money, so we couldn't go to the store and just go out and buy all the stuff that we needed. So my mother would go to the store. She was a seamstress, and she would make everything that we needed. And I remember the year that Mom bought us clothes from Sears. It was the Sears. She'd gone through the catalog. She'd ordered it. And we were the happiest kids in the world because we had Sears and Roebuck clothes. I mean, getting the package in the mail. Everybody loves to get a package. Right. Now, let's stop for a minute and think. Could Sears have transitioned and become an internet giant like Amazon?
Oh, they were poised to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is, and I use the Kenmore story for an example with this one, because they truly were poised to be the dominant force, just like Walmart. You notice, think about Walmart, who did not jump on that online thing fast enough, right? And so now what happened to Walmart? But
ketchup, yeah.
Exactly. So I was trying to find it. I actually had an article that I wrote where I broke down the details of it. But Kenmore went from being valued at billions of dollars to being sold for like $500,000 or $500 million.
Wow.
And what happened was when things started to get tight, the first things they cut were R&D. They stopped innovating, and that was the killer. That's what happened. That's how Kenmore felt. I mean, it used to be, what was it? You went to get a new fridge, and you either got a Whirlpool or you got a Kenmore, and Kenmore was the king.
It was. People still will buy the Kenmore, but I'm writing that down. They stopped research and development. They stopped looking for what was going to become more efficient. I mean, you look at Maytag. Maytag is continuing to develop and create a better and better product. So, but then Sears did not stay ahead. Now, here's the thing. We are not here to bash Sears. I feel bad for Sears because I never want to be that position.
Right.
And here's what we're looking at, folks. The thing is that with video marketing, if you're not staying with the video marketing game, you are going to either stay behind or you're going to become obsolete. People aren't even going to know you because video is so accessible and you don't have to be perfect. And that's a whole other thing. And that's part of the strategy that we can talk about, is not having to be perfect. But the importance can't be underestimated. And, talking about Mike Michalowicz, Mike has an entire book on how to read your market and stay ahead of what they need so
Right.
that you're there when they have that need. And
Yeah.
the best way to do it is to get video and use video to tell stories. I mean, think about the commercials that impact you the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's not the puppy baby monkey ones. It's the ones that tell you a story. That I pick on that puppy baby monkey commercial so badly. It was that should never have been approved. I don't know how that got passed. Anyhow, it's the stories. It's when they tell a story that really emotionally connects with you or it helps you. Those are the ones we remember. And that's what everyone's trying to get that into their marketing now. But it's truly those are the keys. And you're right. I mean, we're talking about innovating and the failure to innovate. The failure to innovate is what happened to Kodak, Sears. Let's see, what are some of the other ones that have just disappeared just because of failure to innovate?
Montgomery Ward was one.
Um,
So it's very similar catalog kind of thing. Oh goodness, there was a fast food chain that did not move forward, and it's all about innovation. And the thing is what we tend to do is we tend to say, well, that worked for me before, so why shouldn't it work for me now? And the thing is you can't rely on what's worked in the past. I mean, if it's effective, then absolutely, but you can't rely on what's worked in the past and call it good and expect it to take you into the future.
And see, that's the thing. Our brain works in patterns. So by constantly trying to innovate and shift things up, you are forcing your brain to disrupt the regular way it works and operates. And you have to understand you are forcing your brain to operate differently than you're used to. But it is what will save your butt. And so whether you've been doing video or not, the point here is it's really time to start doing video. And these are the keys that are really, this is how video is shifting. And hopefully this first portion just inspired you. And I did find the numbers, by the way. 15 years ago, Kenmore was valued at $2 billion. And over the summer, they were trying to negotiate a buyout for $400 million.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah.
And that's sad. Now, I believe they did sell Kenmore to another vendor.
I believe they did. They sold Craftsman Lowe's. I don't know who they sold Kenmore to, but
not to Lowe's, but they did sell it. So Kenmore's still available, and hopefully, it's almost like what happened with you think about with Steve Jobs, and we won't go deep on that, but Steve Jobs, Apple almost went that way. What saved Apple and the iPhone was Steve Jobs coming back and reading the trends, innovating, and moving forward with those trends. And of course, video was a key part of that. So, but let's talk about the benefit of moving forward with video. And you mentioned earlier that the most avid fans people tend to have, and I find that in my business as well, are people who see you on video. I mean, it's almost like giving you a celebrity status. You know what I mean?
It is. We were joking. Jenny and I were actually joking about how the majority of the stalkers, the people who get a little obsessive fan wise, usually come from video.
They do. Because there's there's a lot of reasons that video is so important. But one of the reasons is that they can connect with you in a more intimate manner, not intimate in a bad sense, but they're really getting to see you the way you are. So you're seeing me and Stephanie on this video. If you're listening to the podcast, you better run over to YouTube because we're on YouTube, BlackBelt Selling YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe to us there. But now away from the self-promo, the thing about it is that you look at us, and the funny thing is people who have watched us and heard us love us in person because we are the same in person as we are in our shows. And that's what people want. People want authenticity. I mean, isn't it a bummer when a celebrity that you've grown fond of because of a role they've played is a snob? That they won't intimate with their fan base. They'll be really gross. But
it's heartbreaking a little bit because we can connect. And you think about the fact that 93% of our communication is nonverbal. Mm-hmm. And so 93% of our communication is nonverbal, and you're trying to rely on on blog posts and maybe radio ads or whatever, you're really missing out on giving your people the chance to connect with you on a personal level. It makes sales so much freaking easier, by the way, if they feel like they've personally connected with you. And that's, I think that's the key, is that people can pick up on. Have you ever listened to somebody talk and you're just like, yeah, you are so lying to me? Like
yeah, you question their integrity, and that trust can't be underestimated. I've had people come up to me and go, I know you from somewhere. I know you from somewhere. It's because they've seen one of my videos. And so, and I'll tell you, Mark Hunter, who's been a guest on our show, and I'm going to get him back next year, but Mark Hunter, he is video is what has propelled a lot of his career. If you want to know more about him, you want to see his videos, he's on LinkedIn. He does a video every day, and they're only 1 to 2 minutes long. They are not long. You do not need a lot of time to have a great video, you know? And so we're going to talk more about strategy, but I also want to mention, Stephanie, that video also gives you authority. So let's think about YouTube for a moment. Probably the biggest video channel, you know, it is the #1 video search engine in the world. We know that. But why do a lot of people go to YouTube besides entertainment?
They go to YouTube to look for how-to videos all the time.
All the time. So let's say you are, let's say you're a gardener and you are looking to get more people in your area to come to you. So what do? You get up on YouTube and you start talking about how to deal with this particular weed, or you start talking about a particular problem in your local area that you can provide value to people to. Because the key to video is you need to be providing value. It's not self-promotion. You know, Stephanie and I, we've worked very hard on this podcast not to be very promotion driven, because we want this podcast to provide so much value. But we also want to find the problems, the challenges you're having, so we can address them, so that this podcast, this video, can be valuable to you. So here's a perfect example. And I love this lady, and I'm going to call her name out. Her name is Fanula McCauley. Fanula and I met last year yes, she's Irish. So Fanula,
never would have guessed.
Fanula. So Fanula is a florist. And one of the things I love about Fanula is she does blog posts, and she does pictures, and she does videos. She does things to help you at home take the plants that you have available to you, or you could run down to a store and pick up, and turn them into beautiful arrangements. Now, why does she do that? Well, 1, she wants to help people that are the do-it-yourselfers. 2, she's providing value. And 3, she's going to get business out of that just because of the value she's providing. So there's a ton of value, and she's presenting herself as an authority. Fanula is very smart. She's actually a business owner first and a florist second. She uses...
That's such a key distinction.
She's a brilliant woman. And hi, Fanula, you know, but she's smart. But she uses her promotion to help her build her authority in the floral arena. And so that's what you want to look at. Video will do that for you. And we're going to talk now. Let's talk about some strategy. But do you have anything else to add about the benefits of video before we move on?
No, I think we've really hit them on the head. It really truly is just a way to very easily put yourself, you know, I guess it's like the new SEO, right? Where you put yourself where people are looking for the expert. Could you imagine if you'd set yourself up to be the expert way back when SEO was just getting started, right? Like, video truly is that powerful. You know, YouTube is the second largest, most used search engine right after Google. So
which owns YouTube.
So really it's like, you know,
one and the same. But it truly is. And, you know, I've heard people complain about some things with YouTube, but the bottom line is, if you want to find it, you're going to be on YouTube. And video is the premier way to get people to interact with you, to get people who really are going to begin to trust you because they're going to see you, and they can also interact with you. I mean, even if it's a video on YouTube, it's not a live stream of any sort, but then people can comment. It is so much different, Stephanie, than when I was a child and I was watching, the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It was really stupid, but you wanted to get Cocoa Puffs because of the stupid cuckoo bird, because the cuckoo bird was entertaining in the video. So you want your videos to have the entertainment value as well, but they don't always have to be entertaining.
Or they don't have to be just entertaining. They can be right. You sitting here reading the dictionary encyclopedia to us probably not going to get you a whole ton of business. Just throwing that out.
Or views, unless well, there's a way to even make that one like entertainment. But anyway,
well, but then you'd have. I mean, you said, yeah, you're right. If you made it entertainment, you could. But if you just literally sit here and go, ace. No, it's not.
No, it's not very entertaining. You're right. So Stephanie, let's talk a little bit about strategy. So I think one of the things we have to realize is that you have to have planning to be effective. Video has to be part of an overall strategy, and you need to plan and prepare for your videos, right?
Right. Yeah, it is funny, right? I think Franklin Roosevelt was the one who had the quote. One of our old presidents had this quote where he said, if you want me to speak for 10 minutes, give me 2 weeks. If you want me to speak for half an hour, give me a week. If you want to speak for an hour or more, I'm ready now. Right. The thing is, with videos, you have to be smart about the order of your content. They have to be fairly concise. I mean, you can't just drone and drone and drone. You will lose people. And so planning out what you want to say, it does take some planning. It takes some planning to make sure that, it just does. When I cut a video, we usually block out at least a half hour, and that's usually just to cut a little 5-minute video. Mm-hmm. It takes time. But again, we're coming back to the whole, is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely.
And it comes down to leverage too, Stephanie, because my YouTube video, there was one show that we had 71 downloads in like one day, which was amazing. Nice. It was great. Correct. And I look at those downloads and I think, yeah, it took time to prepare that, but those 71 downloads now created 71 times more reach. Yeah. Because that person will listen to it and they'll send it to somebody else. So even though it's time consuming and you think, well, I need to be out there talking to people, you are, when you're on video, you're talking to the people that you want to reach. And just what I'm doing right now, look into the camera and talk to the person that you want to talk to, like this wonderful business person that's listening right now and is going, I never realized how important video would be. I've just thought that I would make time for it later. Don't make time for it later. Block it into your week. Make it an important part of your marketing strategy. And if you feel comfortable, create an outline. So Stephanie and I, when we come on our shows, we have an outline we follow. I usually set something up so that we have direction. We know where we want to go. We're not going to ramble all over the place so that we can provide quality to you, our listener.
Well, sometimes we do ramble. Sorry, I didn't realize you were waiting for me there. Sometimes we do ramble, but I was going to be smart. See, I was going to be all smart assy. And then I was like, no, behave, Steph. And then you gave me the opportunity to talk.
Yes, smart ass.
But the truth is, sometimes we do ramble a little bit, and that's okay. That I think people feel like you have to stop and restart the whole video if you get off script. And so I do want to clarify. Yeah, you got a plan, but you don't have to sit here I know people who invest in the scrolling reader, and you know what? If you want to do that, go for it. But if it comes down to, I can't do this without my scrolling reader, keep in mind that you're trying to get people to connect with you. And it does take some practice to get used to talking to the camera as if it's a person. But in all reality, once you get comfortable with it, then it's no different than having a conversation with the person sitting right next to you. So don't be afraid of that. And yes, we do ramble sometimes, usually for entertainment value. But Don't be afraid of getting on the camera and
Yeah.
just talking and having a conversation.
And, I want to show you really quickly the notes for today. This is a script. So just so that you know, a lot of what we do is unscripted, but we do have an outline we follow. We prepare for this. And it's helpful. Then the reason for it is because you want to stay on target.
Right.
When live streaming became really popular way back, 2-3 years ago, I remember we would get on and then people would just start talking. And they would just start talking and talking and talking, and they really had no purpose. And to be honest, I'm a busy person. And if the people you're reaching are busy people, you want to honor their time, you want to honor their commitment and their attention, and you want to provide the value that you can. Now, a question that came up in one of the Twitter chats that I was in this week, it's called Biz Heroes. One of it was, is blogging and video, are they incompatible? Is video going to replace blogging? And that was a really interesting question, and we had a lot of very keen insights. Before I share some of those insights and my own insights, Stephanie, what do you think? Do you think that video will replace blogging?
No, I don't, because I think there's times and places to watch videos, and there's times and places you just want to read through it and get it over with. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of times people put a video or recording and then they'll put a transcript or an article version of the video as well. So I think what it actually is, and it's funny because Jessica and I were just talking about this morning about how we need to streamline the workflow for getting content out, and the video becomes a great starting point for graphics, for blogs, for all of these other pieces. And so it all comes together, right? So it creates more leverage, more action. But is it going to replace it? No, I don't think we're ever going to be out of blogging. I think blogging is still serves a very important purpose on the internet. So no, that would be my answer.
Well, there were a lot of people that agreed with you, because at the bottom line is that we're all still human beings. We are not growing out of the need for paper. We're not growing out of the need to read. And I'm the kind of person that has a book and a Kindle version of the book and an audio version of the book. I have all of them. So I Clockwork, for example, Mike Michalowicz's book, I have the book, I have the video, or I have the Kindle version, and I have the Audible version, because they all serve different purposes in my life. And that's the thing. There was one of the people commented and said something to the effect of, well, I heard that it's going to be 100% video in 5 years. And I'd heard that too. And my thought was, well, I don't think so, because we still need writing. We still need to have a mixture of media, number one. That won't go away. Even young people, when people get media saturated, they're going to retreat to a paper book. They're going to retreat to something that's familiar. And of course, there are a lot of studies that show that there's only so much neural stimulation our minds can take. And video is a very stimulating medium. So here's the thing about strategy. We need to realize that while video is very important, and it's a key way to connect and engage with your target or your ideal client, they're not, we're not shooting arrows at them or
that's what I've been doing wrong.
I know. I see why she needs me. Tangent. Okay. Now back to the topic. But now what was I talking about? You silly goose. Oh, targets. Targets. Video is a key way to engage. Video is a key way to get people. But you also need to be involved in other forms of media. Things like blogging. Things like, there's never going to go away the need for a book.
Right.
And even now, recently, I'm not trying to ramble or take over, but I was just thinking about something that I'd read recently. And this person said, it's not enough to type out stuff. If you really want to be creative, it's important that you're writing it longhand on paper, because there's a connection between your head and the movement of your hands that's critical and very important to creativity. Now, you can argue and you can debate. We could debate about that. That'd be an interesting topic to bring some people on to debate. But our brains we were created a certain way. So this is an important thing to keep in mind. Your ideal client isn't only video oriented.
Right.
If they are,
it's the whole concept of don't put all your eggs in one basket. Right? You sit here and you put all of your hope and prayer into video. And the problem is that video, I mean, none of this is going to be standalone. That's why you can't just put ads on TV anymore. There has to be more pieces that pull it all together. So yes, is it something to definitely stay on top of? Absolutely. Is it something to stay on top of as it continues to morph and grow? Because it has grown quite a bit over the past few years. Yeah. Absolutely. But is it the only thing you need to do for marketing from here on out? Absolutely not.
Exactly.
So, I think that's really the big takeaway, is that it's valuable, it's helpful. Make it a piece of a really solid marketing campaign to help take that marketing campaign to the next level.
And as we're headed into 2019, it's really important that you consider all of the possible ways that you have to reach your ideal client. And so, what we want to do is we would love for you to reach out to us if you want some help with your strategy, or you simply are starting out and you're thinking, I never really thought about all of these things. I would love to talk to you about it. What we're going to do is we're going to put our link in here, and it escapes me what it is because I haven't put it in for a while. But, request a 15-minute consult. Just 15 minutes. We'll help you kind of sort some things out. It'll either be me or Stephanie. We'll help you sort a few things out. And then who knows? If it's important for us to work together, we'll talk about it then. But really, we want to just help you for 2019 get a great start. Just get a great start. Have a direction that you want to go and things that you want to implement. So be looking in the comments for that. And actually, we'll have it scrolling across the bottom here of the video. I'll have that for you guys scrolling across the video, the bottom.
Cool. In the meantime, guys, we are here for you. We want to thank you guys for having come and spent so much time with us throughout 2018. We look forward to 2019 being amazing. We look forward to staying in touch with you guys, continuing to bring you guys content and workbooks and stuff to help you grow yourself and your business. Don't forget to join us at facebook.com/groups/BlackBelt Selling. We post all kinds of cool stuff in there, so you don't want to miss it. Follow us on YouTube and go out there and make it a freaking awesome month.